This stick merely dropped lightly to the ground, and it tore through the entire continent. It killed 850,000 people, but it could only be used 5 times. So I decided to use it to kill an ultimate boss. I never expected it to be such a coward. It actually initiated a soul contract with me, becoming a weapon spirit and giving the stick infinite durability. And now, I can finally get my revenge on that woman. It all started not long ago, when I was being discriminated against by other players. I actually got a party invitation from a goddess. I felt like I was on top of the world. On our way, I even bragged to her about the newbie starter pack I bought for $290. Not only did she not look down on me, she even kept praising me. I was already fantasizing about falling in love with the goddess and walking down the wedding aisle. I imagined us building a happy little family, but reality was too cruel. Tears can't buy you forever. I guess I just got way too invested. When I woke up from the dream, I was covered in scars. It was then I realized the fantasy was over. Turned out the goddess was only luring me to the center of a secluded forest to take me out. All for her quest to change into a hidden class. The goddess of life. And I was the 1000th player she had killed. That day, I learned a hard truth. The real law of this game is that only the strong survive. Soon after, I revived in the starting village, but at the cost of losing a level. My mind was filled with her cold taunts from before I died. You must be a real idiot in the real world, huh? Why don't you go beg for some more allowance to upgrade your gear? And then there were the looks of pure contempt from the other players. Piss off, you moron. Hey, your gear is total trash. Come find me again when you've upgraded to plus 11. With no power of my own, all I could do was scream in helpless rage. So I took out my upgrading hammer. First up was my plus 3 Knight's Greatsword. I summoned all my strength and slammed the hammer down, but the upgrade failed. The weapon shattered completely. Refusing to give up, I took out my plus 5 Iron Blood Leather Gauntlets and slammed the hammer down again with all my might. But all I got was another failure. I started to go crazy, pulling out piece after piece of gear to upgrade. But as the upgrades kept failing, my gear kept breaking. I lost everything. Tears of sorrow streamed down my face. I decided to quit this trash game. Suddenly, a stick fell right beside me. It was a basic newbie weapon. Its only feature was being incredibly weak. A giant question mark appeared over my head. I was completely baffled. Then, a child appeared in front of me. Who was he? Why does he keep sending emotes? Judging by his outfit, he must be a newbie. Then, I suddenly realized what he meant. He must want to give this stick to me. Yeah, that had to be it. Did he see that all my gear was destroyed and take pity on me? Clinging to my last shred of stubbornness, I brought the hammer down again. This time, the upgrade succeeded. So I hit it again. And again, a notification of a successful upgrade. Life is so unfair. Why is it that only a piece of trash equipment like this would actually upgrade successfully? So I went nuts, hammering and upgrading like a madman. I just kept hammering, non-stop. I'd already lost everything anyway. I kept hammering until the sun went down. I was so exhausted my entire body was shaking. Then, with a trembling hand, I brought the hammer down one last time. Suddenly, a brilliant golden light burst forth. I had actually upgraded it to the max level, plus 99. Trembling, I stared at the wooden stick I had accidentally upgraded to its maximum level and was lost in thought. I mean, normally, once you go past plus 10, the success rate is supposed to drop below 5%. The next second, it slipped from my trembling hand. The moment it hit the ground, my mind went completely blank. Everything in my sight was instantly obliterated. The next moment, all the players went into a panic and scattered. Some even thought it was Dragon's Breath. Others thought it was a game event, but I, the one who caused it all, was just as stunned. Because that single attack split the continent in two. And on top of that, it set a new world record in the game's history. In a single instant, that one attack killed 850,000 players. And just like that, I became the most infamous villain. I couldn't help but laugh in excitement as that bitch's face and her words flashed through my mind again. I guess your parents are just beggars, huh? At that moment, I burst into insane laughter. I learned one thing at the cost of my own life. The real truth of this game. It's that the strong devour the weak. You're all just a bunch of worthless trash. So prepare to die. In real life, I'm just an ordinary person. Average looks, average height, average grades, average athletic ability. If I were to rank my life like in a game, I'd probably be bronze 4. But, things are different now. I was just minding my own business when I suddenly bumped into a bald guy. He immediately grabbed me and lifted me up, probably trying to act tough in front of his little girlfriend. And all I said back were 3 words, "You fat pig." Then, I smashed a club right in his face. The next moment, a golden light erupted, and the bald guy instantly disintegrated into dust. Right now, my confidence is through the roof. I am the strongest player. I am the main character of this world. However, a second later, a system notification popped up. The weapon's durability was about to hit rock bottom. The wooden club's durability was only 3 out of 5. I was stunned. Doesn't that mean I can only use it 3 more times? Damn it, my whole plan is ruined. I was going to beat up all those guys who ignored me, and then get my revenge on that woman. But with things as they are, how am I supposed to get my revenge? Well, I only have 3 hits left anyway. So I made a decision and came to the Valley of the Dead. You, a mere mortal whose life is destined to end, have dared to cross the boundary yourself. You cannot escape your doom. This is the border between life and death, you foolish mortal. Now, struggle in the face of insurmountable despair. Since I only have 3 hits left, I might as well just take on some big shot boss in the game. At that moment, Eurus was so scared he lost all composure and hurriedly said, wait a minute, please wait. I have something to say. Please, just let me finish. Sir, who on earth are you? How should I know, you little punk? Stop bothering me and hurry up and die. I swung the club once more. Eurus was hit so hard he started questioning his own existence as he watched me get closer and closer. A look of despair was already on his face. I sighed and said, only one last hit left. If only I didn't have to deal with this durability issue. Hearing this, Eurus's eyes shot wide open. Durability? Sir, are you worried about the durability problem? I can help you solve it. Hearing that, I stopped the club I was about to swing and said with a serious expression, really? The next moment, a status window popped up. Master Servant Contract with the 2-headed dragon, Eurus. The mightiest dragon, Eurus, wishes to form a soul contract with you. Would you like to accept the quest? I paused for a moment and asked, what is this? Sir, have you ever heard of an ego sword? An ego sword? What's that? To put it simply, it means I would become your weapon by discarding my physical body and existing only in the form of a soul. If I do that, your weapon will evolve into a sword that has its own consciousness. In other words, an ego sword, and it will gain infinite durability. The ego sword is the highest class weapon in this game. Hearing this, I couldn't help but burst out laughing. Seeing my reaction, Eurus was completely confused. He could only laugh along awkwardly and ask meekly, Sir, model. How's my proposal? I muttered to myself. This way, my storyline is going to change again. And here I was, having just given up on my whole Avenger character arc. Who would have thought? It's like the heavens are pointing me back towards revenge. Seeing the twisted look on my face, Eurus got so scared he probably wanted to cry for his mommy. But a moment later, I hit the accept button. Instantly, a magic circle materialized at our feet. As the spell was cast, Eurus's physical body slowly faded away, his soul embedding itself into the wooden stick, piece by piece. In an instant, the stick's level changed to ego, and its durability became infinite. Suddenly, I heard the sound of footsteps around me, getting clearer and closer. All at once, countless monsters appeared, all of them screaming for vengeance. Avenge our master! Avenge Lord Eurus! In a flash, my surroundings were filled with cries for revenge as countless monsters swarmed me like a tidal wave. I burst into a crazed laugh. Revenge? Oh, yes, there will be revenge. The next moment, I raised the stick in my hands and brought it down with all my might. Meanwhile, in town, my wanted posters were being put up. It's a triple S-class bounty. A soldier announced in a booming voice. This is for the most vicious red-named player in history, who slaughtered over 800,000 people in a single day. This wanted poster has been issued to the entire world, to all 12 kingdoms across the 3 continents. The bounty is 10 billion gold coins. Hearing this, the players were stunned. That's insane. 10 billion gold is 53 million in cash. At the same time, a large battalion of soldiers was dispatched. You could tell from the crests on their armor. They were the Royal Guard. And the man leading the charge was Saintly, the Guild Master of the Holy Guild, leading the strongest paladin order, comprised of 10 elite knights. The blonde man is Shu Hao, Guild Master of the Crosshair Guild. With him is the royal family's strongest mage, who is also the master of the Sanctuary Guild. Abracadabra. And then there's Hong, the master of the Vagrant Guild. And finally, surrounded by thousands of armored soldiers, the Lord of Arden City and master of the Justice Guild, Hawkeye. The 5 greatest guilds in the world, gathered in one place, forming an alliance for the very first time. Hawkeye announced in a loud voice, as Commander-in-Chief of the World Guild Alliance, I order you all. Our World Guild Alliance hereby declares war on this unprecedentedly evil red-named player. Meanwhile, having acquired an item with infinite durability, I was in an alley, grinning from ear to ear. Suddenly, a small creature popped up. Hey, big bro, you seem to be in a great mood. A head suddenly sprouted from the stick, startling me. The little thing then explained, Big bro, I'm the 2-headed Eurus. I was shocked. This little guy was nothing like that imposing Dragon King from before. They were like 2 completely different creatures. Seeing my expression, Eurus quickly emerged from the stick to explain. Just like I told you, my soul entered your weapon, big bro. Simply put, I become the spirit of the weapon. I'm one of the standard features of an ego-level weapon. Only you can see and hear me, big bro. I pretty much got what he was saying. But, where's your other head? I asked. Eurus himself seemed confused. Another head? He tried to find another head next to his own, but he had no idea where it had gone. Suddenly, a piece of paper fluttered down between us. Curious, I picked it up. But when I saw what was on it, I froze. Wanted. That's when I realized the whole world was plastered with my wanted poster. Seeing this, Eurus actually got excited. He said he just now realized that because he hadn't gripped the stick properly, he had caused the deaths of over 800,000 people. Looking at my wanted posters scattered everywhere, I actually felt a thrill of excitement. It's like I've become a superstar. So I thought, well, since things have already come to this, then let's go with the playing weak to crush the strong persona. Hearing this, Eurus asked in confusion, playing weak to crush the strong? What's that? I explained, you don't know what it means to play weak? It's when a powerful person hides their strength and pretends to be weak and foolish. Haven't you ever read any of those power fantasy stories? Where everyone looks down on someone who's actually the super powerful main character. Don't you think that's cool? Just enjoying the leisure like this. An arrow shot by Hawkeye. I didn't expect my position to be revealed so quickly. Just as the soldiers were surrounding me, I stood up. They immediately raised their bows and aimed at me again. Hawkeye roared, "Don't give him time to breathe. Everyone, attack." In that instant, I got angry. I was planning to keep up the playing weak act, but I guess it's time to show my hand. No more pretending. With a single strike, the members of the 5 great guilds suffered devastating casualties. Lying on the ground, Hawkeye still couldn't process what had happened. There was a sudden flash of light, and then everyone was knocked down. The capital of the First Kingdom vanished in an instant along with them. Witnessing my immense power firsthand, Hawkeye hurriedly took out a summoning orb and crushed it without a moment's hesitation. Instantly, several teleportation circles appeared, and everyone from the 5 great guilds was summoned. It completely surrounded me, and the number of people summoned this time reached 3 million. Hawkeye once again ordered the entire army to attack me. I let out a light sigh and raised my wooden stick again. One swing of the stick took countless enemy lives. Eurus was completely dumbfounded. With every swing I took, countless enemy lives were extinguished. Although a single human is weak, when countless people gather together, they become difficult to deal with. That's common knowledge. Even the strongest boss monster, Eurus, couldn't handle several thousand people at once. And these people were from the World United Guilds. It's a group that brings together the strongest players from all over the world. Even if Eurus mobilized his entire army, he definitely wouldn't stand a chance. So the most logical thing to do would be to escape. But this was all Eurus's misconception. At this moment, I was incomparably powerful. Even an army of thousands could be turned to dust with a flick of my finger. However, at the same time, over with the mages, the prelude to their spell was almost complete. The next moment, a magic circle appeared above my head. Instantly, Abracadabra activated the spell, Disintegration. But I didn't dodge or evade. Instead, I marveled at how incredibly cool the name of that spell was. So I decided I needed a skill name, too. I raised the stick in my hand again. Instantly, a shockwave shot past Earth and into space. I'll call it Upward Swing. The magic circle was pierced in an instant, shattering and disintegrating. Abracadabra's face filled with panic. He hurriedly organized the mage corps to start chanting another spell. But the next moment, he saw me raise my wooden stick again. This time, the skill is called Downward Swing. In an instant, the mage corps was completely wiped out. 3 million people against 1. They didn't achieve an overwhelming victory. In fact, it was almost too tragic to watch. The alliance of the world's 5 great guilds, completely annihilated. Hawkeye stood there, trembling and stunned. I walked up to him, holding my wooden stick. I intentionally spared your life. I even went through the trouble of adjusting my power for it. Because you're the one who shot me with that arrow. And naturally, the battle on that day became a hot topic of discussion for everyone. Not just for the players of Time is Life, but for gamers all over the world. Even people who weren't usually interested in games were talking about it. The battle was over. Eurus popped out, too, and started endlessly flattering me. Suddenly, I heard footsteps behind me. I glanced over from the corner of my eye. It's just one person, I said in confusion. What's going on? How is there another one? However, as she drew closer to me, her long hair was as light as a cloud, and the smile on her face held a captivating gentleness. In that moment, I froze. Because she was the bitch I had sworn to get my revenge on. At that moment, a small smile touched her lips. Long time no see, you scumbag. On the vast plains at sunset, were scattered countless weapons and 3 million corpses. But compared to meeting her here and now, it all seems so bleak. Perhaps that's why, contrary to my current emotions, I couldn't help but laugh out loud. She, with that deceptively harmless smile, said, Have you been well? What a coincidence. I didn't think I'd run into you here again. Coincidence? Cut the crap. You obviously came here looking for me, didn't you? She gave a slight smile. Is that what it looks like to you? Although I'm dying to smash your head in right now. Why has your hair color changed? Did you dye it? Oh my, I'm so happy. I can't believe you actually noticed. After I took care of you back then, I changed my class to the hidden job, Goddess of Life. After that, my hair turned this color. You killed 1,000 people and became the Goddess of Life? Shouldn't you be the Goddess of Death? I know, right? It's interesting, isn't it? It is very interesting, but that's enough chit-chat. Now, it's time for a beating. Oh, so soon? What a pity. There are still so many things I wanted to tell you. She had somehow appeared behind me. I immediately spun around. I swung my club once more, and a powerful shockwave enveloped her. I thought I had finished her. Eurus even came out to start brown-nosing. But as the smoke gradually cleared, her figure appeared within it. She had taken the blow head-on, yet she was completely unharmed. You really have gotten much stronger. But this level of power isn't enough to kill me, you know. Seeing this, Eurus was so scared she practically glued herself to my face. Because she noticed something was wrong with the woman's eyes. She seemed to be staring right at her. But no one other than the host should be able to see it. I pushed Eurus away and said flatly, "You were clearly hit by my attack. How are you completely unscathed? I told you just now, didn't I? I changed my class to the Goddess of Life. How could a mere mortal possibly harm a god?" I laughed and said, "You're really pissing me off." In an instant, I lunged at her again. With a thunderous roar, I swung my wooden club relentlessly. The place where we stood was bombarded as if by a squadron of fighter jets, and the entire continent shook non-stop. Eurus thought that the woman must have been blown to smithereens. And yet, the next second, she appeared before them, perfectly fine. Her wings spread open as she slowly floated into the air. Seeing this, I couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat. But then she retracted her wings, and slowly returned to the ground, revealing a lovely smile as she said, "Now, what will you do? You've been thinking of me day and night, just wanting to kill me, right? Give up. No matter how much time passes, no matter how strong you become, you will absolutely never be able to kill me. Not in a million years." The next moment, I slowly closed my eyes. I let out a deep sigh, then turned and walked away. Seeing this, she asked in confusion, "Oh my, where are you off to? Have you finally decided to give up?" I stretched and cracked my knuckles, model. Without even turning my head, I said, "I want to try swinging this wooden stick with all my might. That way, maybe I can split you in two." "Oh, come on. I already told you that's impossible. There's absolutely no way you could." Hearing that, she flinched. "What?" I turned back and said, "If I can't take you out directly, then I'll just have to destroy this planet, right? That way, you'll either be wiped out in the process, or you'll be blasted into the depths of space. It's one or the other." Ha ha ha. I was wondering what you were going to say. You think a mere human like you can do something like that? That's why I said it, didn't I? I'm going to try with all my might. I haven't even once today swung this stick with my full power. Hearing that, the woman's expression turned serious for a rare moment. "Even if you could, you'd die along with it, wouldn't you? Isn't that just a suicide attack where you take me down with you? Surely you can't be satisfied with that?" Hearing her words, I laughed. I burst into manic laughter. "Listen up, student. Assholes like you always seem to have this misunderstanding. Satisfied? A suicide attack? Someone like me who has nothing to lose isn't afraid of people like you who have everything. You idiot." Finally, she bit her lip as a drop of cold sweat ran down her face. Her voice trembled with a hint of nervousness. Wait. Meanwhile, in the real world, inside a VR capsule room at a gaming cafe, the admin was leisurely dozing off when he suddenly heard the customers complaining loudly. Several VR capsules popped open. Space-Time Life disconnected. Me too. More and more customers were coming out, all of them players of Space-Time Life. Suddenly, they all turned on the admin. "Did you pull the plug or something? What kind of crappy capsule room are you running here?" The admin quickly tried to calm everyone down. "Everyone, please calm down. There wasn't a power surge or an outage." Having ruled out a power outage or internet disconnection, the players finally realized there might be a problem with the server. The next moment, someone saw an official announcement. The gist of it was that emergency maintenance would begin immediately. Restoration time to be announced separately. We will be conducting urgent service maintenance. And with that, the theory of a server problem was confirmed. As for me, I was reconnecting to the game. As the code finished loading, I appeared in a completely unfamiliar space. 10,101,011. I was completely stunned. Just then, a voice spoke in my ear. ST-389. That is the designation of the planet you just destroyed. In the fourth universe, it was a planet renowned for its beauty. Why would you do that? That was my mother's favorite place, you know? I silently stared at the strange person in front of me. I asked, "Who are you?" "Me?" Hearing that, I froze for a moment. The next second, I couldn't help but laugh out loud. "Whatever, why should I care who you are?" I looked around and then asked, "Have you seen a woman with black hair around here?" "Nope, haven't seen her. It's just the two of us here." Just then, the status window popped up. That's when I saw that there was only one person currently online in the entire game, me. What's so surprising about that? Didn't you wipe them all out? Think about it, who could possibly survive an explosion like that? Hearing what he said, I suddenly burst out laughing. Seeing this, even the god broke into a cold sweat. But I just kept on laughing to myself. The next moment, I raised the wooden stick and shouted, "Revenge is complete." 10101H1010. "Hey, Eurus, get out here. I finally got my revenge. P10110. But the wooden stick isn't reacting at all. No matter how I call out to it, nothing happens. Didn't I tell you? There's only the two of us here. Of course that kid isn't here either. Then what are you? That one user currently online. That has to be me, right? Are you an NPC? Or maybe a GM? I'm neither. I am. A burst of static crackled, drowning out the words he was about to say. He could only let out a deep sigh. A troublemaker already. The next moment, a brilliant light flashed. I felt a pulling force on my body. Seeing this, the man said, "What a shame, but it's fine. Our meeting was truly significant. Farewell, and say hello to old Beardy for me." Before I could figure out what was happening, the beam of light pulled me in, and in the next moment, I vanished. As lines of code scrolled past, my connection to the server was terminated. In a VR gaming cafe, the door of one of the pods was slowly opening. I stepped out. Just thinking about that blonde guy pisses me off. He just appeared out of nowhere, didn't leave a single clue, and then took off. And what did he mean by old Beardy? Just then, a bearded man in sunglasses who was sitting across from me walked over. He spoke as he approached. Li Ji-woo, 21 years old. Started playing Time and Space Life 3 months ago. Weapon of choice is a +99 reinforced wooden stick. Am I correct? I was stunned. Could this be old Beardy? I stammered in a panic. "Why yes, that's right. P please, may I ask who you are?" He took off his sunglasses and said with a serious expression, "Who else could I be? I'm the one who's here to take your wooden stick." And then he dragged me out to eat gukbap. "What are you spacing out for? Hurry up and eat. The grandma who runs this place makes the best food." I was still completely lost, but judging by this guy's presence, I figured it was best to just do as he said. Then he mentioned he'd been a regular at this restaurant since back when he was broke. Let's see, it must have been about 15 years, right? Ever since I founded my company and started the initial development of Time and Space Life. At his words, my eyes went wide. Don't tell me, sir, haven't I told you? I'm the CEO of Time and Space Life, Choi Dok-bae. The CEO? And what's with the whole mafia boss entourage? So these guys are just company employees. I thought they were gangsters. You scared me half to death. Why would the CEO of Time and Space Life suddenly come looking for me? Why, back in the capsule room. I already explained the reason, didn't I? I'm here to recall the +99 reinforced wooden stick. I looked at him, bewildered. What's so surprising about that? For a game company, this is a perfectly normal procedure, isn't it? We have to fix game bugs in a timely manner. Hearing that, I shot to my feet. You're calling it a bug? I'm the one who upgraded it myself. But the man just uttered a single number, 3%. That's the success rate after a piece of equipment reaches +10 reinforcement. It's the officially set probability. The higher you go, the lower the success rate gets. You should know that, right? If it wasn't a bug, can you even calculate how low the odds would be after that? At his words, I fell silent. The man then sighed and said, "From now on, the +99 reinforced wooden stick is being recalled." The next day, at the initial ruins near the game's starting village, the boss monster, Goliath, appeared. A party of players was getting ready to hunt it. In an instant, Goliath charged toward them. The mage was the first to cast a spell. It fired a flame missile, scoring a direct hit on the boss in an instant. It was immediately engulfed in flames. A perfect hit. Just one more strike. Suddenly, a shout came from behind. A female player roared and charged towards Goruas. The guy playing the tank hurriedly shouted, "Fighter, you can't rush in alone." Before he could finish his sentence, the female fighter had already smashed her fist into the boss's head. But she lost her balance, got knocked back, and went flying towards the mage. She crashed right into the mage, knocking him out cold. The party immediately fell into chaos, and I was just sitting in a tree, watching it all unfold. I let out a soft sigh. What am I supposed to do now? What do you mean, what now, bro? I didn't answer. I just silently picked up my wooden stick, staring blankly. I drifted into a memory. That day at Grandma's Soup Rice. The man said he had to confiscate my +99 reinforced rice stick. Hearing that, I was furious. But the next second, he continued, "That's the company's official position. My position, however, is a little different. This unexpected turn caught me off guard. The man continued, I investigated it myself and found that your stick is a normal item, not an exploit. So, I've made a decision. I will no longer interfere with the players. Whether it's defeating the strongest boss or slaughtering 3 million players, or even destroying the planet, that is all part of a player's freedom. It's your freedom to pour radish soup into the soup rice. You, stop pouring radish soup into the soup rice. This is infuriating. What's the point of me spending all night simmering this beef bone broth? If you just pour radish soup in it every time, it ruins the taste. Radish soup. While I was zoned out, I heard someone nearby curse, fuck. Fighter, you idiot, what the hell are you doing? Don't you know that in a party, holding the formation is the most basic thing? Why are you dragging everyone down? Damn newbie, we were nice enough to let you in our party. Fuck. Seeing this, I drifted back into my memories. Just one thing. I only ask one thing of you. Although, coming from me, it might sound a bit strange, but Chrono Life is a really good game. Freedom, romance, adventure, it's the fantasy world everyone dreams of. From now on, why don't you stop breaking things and just try to enjoy the game? Enjoy Chrono Life. Back in the game, the tank spat on the female fighter, flipped her off, and cursed, get lost. Newbie, we're not hunting with you anymore. Fuck, let's go. Her weapon is a piece of crap anyway. Then he kicked the female fighter from the party. I just watched it all happen. I sighed again. Adventure? Romance? What a load of crap. It's more like survival of the fittest, isn't it? Okay, I'll enjoy it. But, I'll do it my way. I'm pouring all the radish soup in. This game is trash. Suddenly, a furious shout startled me. I glanced over. It was that female fighter, repeatedly screaming, trash game. Stupid ass game. A bunch of idiots who don't know anything about gear. Do you have any idea how powerful this weapon is? I've spent a fortune on this game. In that moment, I was silent. It was like seeing my old self. All kinds of memories from the past came flooding back. I don't need any of it anymore. From now on, I'll never hunt in a party again. I can do it all by myself. But thinking back on it now, I still don't really get. The next moment, her path was blocked by a Goliath. No, not just one. It was a whole pack of them. Instantly, the Goliath attacked. The female fighter was so terrified by the sight that she just stood there, frozen in place. Why I made that choice back then? An upward swing. Was it empathy? Or was it pity? It probably wasn't for a reason like that. In the end, after thinking long and hard, the conclusion I came to was that it seemed like it would be a lot of fun. Anyway, even though that might sound a little complicated, everything up to this point, that's been my prologue. Now, let me ask you, would you be willing to party up and hunt with me? But what I got in return was a universal hand gesture. Get lost. I don't party with noobs. Just like that, she walked off, grumbling and cursing. Looks like this story isn't off to a great start. From that day on, the entire world was focused on one hot topic. People called it the apocalypse. Gaming forums all over the world were buzzing with speculation. And the focus of this topic was me. People started calling me a psychopathic butcher. They also gave me titles like True Veteran Player, God of Combat, and the strongest player in the history of Eon Life. Of course, there were also some jealous players who thought it was all bullshit, claiming I'd exploited a bug in the game. Or that I was using cheats. Basically, the rumors were all over the place. After all, in a normal person's mind, 1 versus 3 million isn't a gap you can close with just gear and skill. So, a lot of people were demanding that I get banned. And finally, the Eon Life officials gave their response. When they saw the official announcement, a lot of people thought the ban hammer was about to fall. But when they saw the results of the official investigation, they were disappointed. Because I hadn't been flagged for any violations. And just like that, the matter was settled. However, there was one other rumor that continued to circulate among the players. And that was about the server crash that one time. People started pointing the finger at me for that, too. The rumor was that I'd crashed the server by killing too many people at once. A lot of people wanted to see what I actually looked like, because on the wanted poster, I was wearing a hat. So you couldn't see my face clearly. Meanwhile, I was casually following that female fighter. There was still a faint blush on her cheeks. I figured she must have been impressed by my awesome display of power just now. She even asked me, with great concern, why I was still following her. I answered like it was the most obvious thing in the world. What do you mean, why? Didn't we agree to party up and hunt together? You idiot, when did I ever agree to that? I told you, I'm not partying up with a noob like you. I was stunned. A noob? Are you talking about me? Well, aren't you? Under that cloak, you're only wearing basic undergarments. And your weapon is a level 1 starter, a wooden club. I don't have time to waste playing with a noob like you. Now get lost. I was at a loss. What was her deal? She's calling me a noob? Didn't I just wipe out all those monsters and save her life? I saw what happened, Eurus explained. Boss, when you saved her, her eyes were closed. I was completely speechless. So that's it. She has no idea how strong I am. Suddenly, an idea popped into my head. I could hide my true strength and pretend to be a noob. So, I excitedly chased after her, yelling, "Master, please, let me tag along." Hearing this, the girl turned to look at me, puzzled. Actually, I've only just started playing this game. I'm not very good at it, so please, could you show me the ropes? Oh, great master. The girl seemed to really love hearing that. She immediately blushed and froze, the scenes from a moment ago replaying in her mind. Next moment, her whole face lit up. "I'm a master?" Eurus was completely dumbfounded. I quickly tried to explain. "Act like a newbie. I have to act like a newbie. Hide my true strength and act like a newbie? It's just like you said before." Suddenly, a thunderous ouch interrupted their conversation. Well, this is certainly awkward. After all, experts have to help out the beginners, right? And with that, she sent me a party invitation. This master will reluctantly agree to your request. Not long after, we were at the beginner's ruins near the starting village. The girl was currently struggling with a level 4 rabbit-headed bear. To play up her expert persona, she had specifically brought me here to hunt. After all, she was only confident because she was level 24 fighting a level 4. Meanwhile, I was just happily watching from the sidelines. She's actually pretty strong, huh? You can say that again, big bro. Even if they're low-level monsters, enough ants can still take down an elephant. Don't worry about her, her gear is excellent. The weapon in her hand alone is worth about 10 million gold. Her other gear is all top of the line, too. Altogether, it's probably worth around 100 million gold. I suddenly remembered what she'd said. A bunch of clueless fools who know nothing about gear. I've poured a ton of money into this game, you know. So, she was telling the truth. But still, who spends 100 million gold on a game? Suddenly, she stormed over, fuming. Even if you're a newbie, you can't just sit there and watch. At the very least, pick up a wooden stick and hit it a few times. Hit it with this? A few times? That's right. You can only get stronger by experiencing combat for yourself. It's the only way to improve quickly. Do you want to be a newbie forever? Just then, a rabbit-headed bear pounced, but she was still completely absorbed in her lecture. I had no choice but to secretly tap the rabbit-headed bear on the head. In an instant, it vanished into dust. What was that? Where would wind come from inside a dungeon? I was worried my newbie act was about to be exposed when her message window suddenly popped up. It seems something was about to start, and a friend was rushing her to log off. She thought for a moment, then finally let out a sigh. "Hey, I have to log off. I'll be back in about 30 minutes. You can practice fighting monsters on your own until then." I was completely baffled. What was with her? She just logged off on her own like that? But now I was really curious about what she does in the real world. How could she afford to spend so much money on a game? Meanwhile, in reality, the girl had just logged out of Chronoscape Life. After taking off her VR headset, she was still reliving everything that had just happened in the game, a faint blush creeping onto her face. Just then, the door to her room flew open. "Hey, are you insane? You know what time it is? And you're still wearing that stupid thing? Are you deliberately trying to ruin the whole schedule? You're so loud. I already took it off. Are you blind? That's really something to be proud of. You gaming addict. Hurry up and sit down, we have less than 10 minutes left." God, you're so noisy. Can't you ever do something about that explosive temper of yours? Were you playing games with your glasses on again? I've told you before, it leaves marks on your nose. So take your glasses off when you wear the headset. But sis, you know, I get anxious if I don't wear my glasses. Can't you just help me get rid of the marks on my nose? Time was almost up. Her sister could only sigh in exasperation. "We're out of time. Hurry and sit down. If it weren't for the money, I would have fought you to the death a long time ago." Sorry to keep you all waiting. This is the final performance of this week's Music X Road. Topping the charts for 13 consecutive weeks, she is our popular idol. And the best singer-songwriter. Please welcome Han I-ching. Only your love, your first love. Hello everyone, I'm Han I-ching. The idol and singer-songwriter, Han I-ching. What most people don't know is that her hobby is playing online games. Back in the game, after the girl left, the rabbit-head bear started attacking me. Well, I guess I'll just practice a bit before the master gets back. Practice? It's charging. It's charging. Boss, what are you going to practice? I'm practicing how to hide my skills and act like a noob. Practicing how to leave it with just a sliver of health. Hey, practice leaving it with a sliver of health, you say? You're pretty interesting, aren't you? Alright, back to Han I-ching. Besides being an idol, she's also a student. Having debuted at such a young age, she went through a long and difficult period of obscurity before finally becoming a popular idol. She's also the best singer-songwriter, currently topping the charts for 14 consecutive weeks. Her latest chart-topping song, The Story of the Mermaid Princess, has been praised for its unique, melancholic vibe. The host asked curiously, How do you manage to write such beautiful lyrics every time? Because I like to stay at home by myself. So I usually read a lot of poetry collections or fairy tale books. So is that why you named the song, The Story of the Mermaid Princesses? Oh, geez, my manager told me not to talk about fairy tale related things. It's kind of embarrassing. It's like a kid's hobby, isn't it? Seeing Han I-ching act all cute like this, the host and the audience couldn't help but feel their hearts flutter. Her manager, however, was unfazed, putting on an act and fooling the entire nation. That damn woman. Poetry collections? Fairy tale books? What a load of nonsense. What the public doesn't know is that her real hobby is playing online games. Back at the interview, the host also mentioned that Han I-ching is not only successful in music, but she's also very famous as an actress. This time, she's even playing a very interesting character, a female student who loves to swear. Yes, that's been troubling me a lot lately, because I've never sworn a single day in my life. But in reality, it's like this. Hey, you little maggot. You got a death wish? You see the boss and you don't even say hello? When do we start? We start right now. Slap, slap. What? You got a problem with that? You don't want me to lead you anymore? Even Ulus can't stand it. Boss, what are you doing? For someone this stubborn and rude, we should just get rid of him. I have to hide my skills and act like a noob. I have to hold back. Repeat after me. Boss I-ching. Boss I-ching. Too quiet. Again. Boss. Maggot. How was your practice while I was away? I went through a long and arduous training that felt like an eternity. A noob talking big, huh? Well then, I'll be looking forward to it. Yes. Love boss. By the way, I still don't know your name. Kachazi, what's your username? Haven't I told you mine? My username is... forget it. I'll just call you Kachazi. The two of them kept chatting like that, completely unaware that someone was following them. It was a group of mysterious figures in black cloaks. Their leader was heard saying 3 words. Found them. Summon all guild members to the dungeon. On our end, a rabbit-headed bear appeared. Boss immediately sent me up to fight it, in order to hold back my power. So I wouldn't kill it in one hit. I was straining so hard I almost burst a blood vessel. But, thankfully, my practice of leaving them with just a sliver of health paid off. Seeing me knock out the rabbit in a single move, Love excitedly congratulated me. Suddenly, a throwing knife flew towards us. Love instantly grabbed me, pulling me aside before deflecting the knife with a kick. Just then, the mysterious figure appeared. As he caught the knife, the force of the wind sliced open a cut on his cheek. Not bad skills. No, wait. Is it just your gear? You. Who are you? Have you forgotten my voice so soon? That truly hurts me. Seeing the Hana Mountain Guild's emblem, Love's expression suddenly turned to one of dread. And it seemed this Kim guy knew her. He said, "Long time no see," and then ordered his men to attack. Seeing how dangerous the situation was, the girl quickly told me to hide behind her for safety. She intended to face them all by herself. A single sweep kick sent the enemy in front flying, even knocking his teeth out. She then used his face as a springboard, launching herself into the air. A falling dragon kick sent the rest of them flying. I just watched the show casually from the sidelines. I still hadn't figured out what was going on, but I could get the general idea. Basically, the Hana Mountain Guild and Love had clashed before, fighting several times, big and small. Love was always the clear winner, but that persistent old guy came back relentlessly for revenge. I guess that's probably what this is all about. Speaking of which, these guys are really weak. How can they not even beat Love, who's barely past level 20? Despite this, the old guy didn't show any signs of panic. In fact, he was completely calm. She should have let her guard down by now. Let's begin. In that instant, the woman next to the old guy vanished on the spot. In a flash, she reappeared behind Love. She was seen extending a hand and uttering the 2 words, plunder. In that moment, a brilliant light flashed. Love was so dazzled she couldn't open her eyes. After the light faded, she was shocked. Her brass knuckles had vanished and were now in the other woman's hands. What a nice weapon. Darling, are you some kind of rich kid? I was dumbfounded watching this happen. Eurus explained, this is the plunder skill from the thief class. But then it added, confused, that's strange. This skill isn't supposed to be this powerful. So what? I thought. I don't have anything valuable on me anyway. The next moment, I remembered my wooden stick. I quickly grabbed it, held it tightly to my chest, and made a sudden run for it. But they just saw me as some small fry and paid me no mind. But when the thief woman saw my dashing retreat, a hungry look appeared on her face. She tossed the brass knuckles to the old guy, saying, "You don't seem to understand. Plundering from someone who has nothing. Now that's the most interesting part." And just like that, she blocked my path. "Hey there, dear, where are you off to?" Then she approached me, step by step. This is trouble. I can't hide my strength and pretend to be a newbie anymore. I immediately swung my staff at her. But in an instant, she vanished from my sight. Well then, this wooden staff is mine now. Next up is your cloak, dear. Once I have that, you'll be left in nothing but your underclothes. Suddenly, a shadow fell over her. She was wondering where it came from. The enormous figure of Eurus appeared before her. Human, you think you're worthy of possessing me? The female thief's eyes widened in shock. The next moment, she was so scared she fell to the ground with a thud, dropping my staff in her terror. I silently picked up the staff. A system prompt indicated that the soul of Eurus refused to submit to her. You have regained ownership of the weapon. Eurus slowly flew out of the staff. You think you're worthy of possessing me? Anyone other than my big brother is unqualified to wield me. You insolent human. I patted its head and stared coldly at the female thief. She was already covered in a cold sweat, trembling as she collapsed on the ground. Even now, she still hadn't figured out what just happened. Was it a hallucination? But it felt far too real. Seeing that something was wrong, the old man shouted, "What are you doing sitting on the ground? Have you forgotten your mission?" Hearing this, the woman scrambled to her feet. How could I? I'm a professional mercenary who gets paid to do a job. Just then, an angry roar came from nearby. Han Iching attacked with a sweeping leg kick. You damn thief, give me back my weapon. Whoa, you scared me. My dear, that was a pretty sharp sneak attack. But aren't you targeting the wrong person? Your weapon is over there. Just then, the old man took out Iching's weapon with a cold smile. Iching cursed bastard, and was about to charge, but the next moment, she suddenly felt her body go weak. She swayed and collapsed. Secret technique. Leave one breath. Seeing this, the female thief was completely baffled. Dear, what are you doing? Aren't you two together? Because I hid my strength and pretended to be a newbie. Hiding your strength? What's that supposed to mean? Suddenly, with a loud bang, all the companions behind the female thief were KO'd. She stared blankly behind her, only to be met with a tragic scene. She panicked and turned back. Dear, was this your doing? I did it. I've been through a lot lately. My mental fortitude has gotten much stronger. But, just now, because of you, I thought my heart was going to explode. Bastard. You're awake? Kucha seed. Where is this? Where did that group of people go? This is the plain near the dungeon. That group from earlier has already gone back. Gone back? What does that mean? Also, why did I suddenly pass out? Hearing that, I was at a loss for words. I quickly tossed the brass knuckles to her to change the subject. The Hannah Mountain Guild, right? What do they do? Tell me about them. Are you still going to play dumb? Are you tired of living? He let out a slight sigh. Iching spoke up. Fine, I'll tell you. After all, you were dragged into this for no reason. Kucha-zi, have you ever heard of Wantianshu? Wan, what? Seeing my confusion, Eurus explained. Wantianshu is from a popular online game. It's short for Uncles Who Play Wantian X. How do you know all this? Aren't you an NPC in the game? I searched for it online. Eurus fluently explained everything in detail. Seeing how he was rambling on, Iching cut in. To put it simply, we're talking about billions. Players who top up their accounts with that much money. That's the hallmark of a Wantianshu. In other words, those uncles from the Hannah Mountain Guild are all whales. And these knuckle dusters, Iching happened to buy them at an auction a few months ago. But at some point, the people from the Hannah Mountain Guild started trying to snatch them from her. But this group of uncles' gaming skills are nothing to write home about. So, Iching wiped the floor with them every time. Speaking of which, Iching asked why I had the knuckle dusters. I had to play dumb. They didn't take them? Maybe, they forgot? Thankfully, Iching didn't press the issue and just said, forget it, I don't know what happened, but they'll definitely be back for more. That uncle with the black lips is especially persistent. Hearing this, I cupped my chin, puzzled. That's a bit strange, isn't it? Why are they so obsessed with getting those knuckle dusters? Iching stated the obvious, because these knuckle dusters are worth over 10 million gold coins. But I didn't think so. Why would a bunch of uncles who've spent billions care about a 10 million gold weapon? Clearly, there was another reason. Hannah Mountain Guild headquarters. I'm so sorry, big bro. Please, give me one more chance. Standing before the black-lipped uncle was a bearded man in golden armor. He seemed to be in a very foul mood. Shut your mouth, you idiot. We can't delay this any longer. Your mission will be completed by one of the other 4 heavenly kings. Hearing this, the black-lipped uncle broke into a cold sweat and looked to the side. What's wrong? Fourth bro still hasn't handled it. Sigh, you're so useless. I've already taken care of 3 of them. The 4 heavenly kings. They only topped up 100 million. Big bro is getting too sentimental. Your tactics are so old-fashioned. Hiring mercenaries? That's why you failed. Just then, the eldest one spoke up. I'll go. A mere pair of silent knuckle dusters. Give me half a day, and I'll get it done. Suddenly, the guild master burst into a crazed laugh. Excellent. Go, show them. The terror of our Hana Mountain Guild. The Festival of Blood is about to begin. Ha 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 ha, the Festival of Blood. Ha 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 ha, the 4 heavenly kings. Ha 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 ha. Who are you? How did you get in? I'll leave that to your imagination. You guys keep bullying Boss I-Ching, which makes it really hard for me to hide my true strength. I barely managed to bluff my way through this time. The 4 heavenly kings? No need to drag this out. Let's end this right now. Where did this lunatic come from? Kill him. The 4 heavenly kings instantly rushed towards me. I swung my wooden stick, an upward swing. The 2 in front of me were immediately engulfed by the shockwave. Meanwhile, outside the building, a woman was slowly approaching, humming a little tune as she walked. Oh my, it's the entire Hana Mountain Guild. Attack. If you want to take me down, you're going to need at least 3 million people. At this moment, the Hana Mountain Guild was in utter chaos. The guild master was so shocked, he couldn't even speak. He couldn't understand it at all. Besides Kim and his lackeys, all the other members were wealthy players. Even the weakest new member of the guild had spent at least 10 million. Even the 5 major guilds would never dare to underestimate them. And yet, they were completely wiped out by a man in pants. Just then, the guild master suddenly shuddered. It was as if he'd remembered something. That wanted poster flashed in his mind. Underwear, and a wooden club. Oh, he remembered the first time he ever played a game, back when he was in school. Games back then weren't as flashy as they are now. They were just simple games about grinding monsters and leveling up. But even so, I was completely hooked. I even got a beating once when my parents caught me secretly playing games all night. I'd spend entire weekends holed up in an internet cafe with my friends, just grinding monsters and leveling up. Time flew by. As I grew older, I got beaten down by the realities of the real world. Living a busy life, I suddenly looked back and realized I was already in my 40s. I decided to give myself a special gift. Bro, I finally bought it. That's right, what I bought was nostalgia. Bro, why do you insist on playing games on this antique computer? You could just play online games on a brand new PC, you know. You idiot, it's all about the feeling. Back then, my heart was pounding with excitement. It was like I was back in my childhood, or like seeing my first love again after all these years. But as the years passed, I wasn't the only one who had changed. Alright, that's just about everyone. Now it's just the 2 of you left. Ha ha ha, what a tragic end for you old-timers. So, why do you have to steal other players' gear? Aren't you guys supposed to be rich? Come on and take your beating, old men. Payment successful. No effort required. Just click your mouse and pay, and you become powerful. Then you use that power to harass low spenders and free-to-play players indiscriminately. I played a lot of games, but the result was always the same, until I finally found this one. Something I had long forgotten during my busy life. Secret technique. Leave him barely alive. And with that, the Hana Mountain Guild is hereby disbanded. And don't you ever bully Boss I-Ching again. Well, I'm off. You old-timers have had a rough day. The guild master clenched his fists, refusing to accept it. It's you, isn't it? The man who recently destroyed the 5 major guilds and slaughtered the 3 million strong World Guild Alliance. Ha 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 ha. So, how much money did you spend? You must have spent a fortune to get that powerful. But, one day, you'll realize that all your efforts are nothing but a struggle to find something that doesn't even exist. I don't know what you mean by finding or struggling. But I did spend a fair bit of money. Hearing this, the guild master broke out in a cold sweat. He was expecting a figure in the tens, or even hundreds of billions. But I just replied nonchalantly, the new warrior starter pack. It cost 55,000 yuan. This completely stunned the guild master. In that moment, it felt like he was all alone under the setting sun. Just standing there, stunned. 55,000 yuan. Hey. Ha 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 ha. Hey, little bro, since we played Tian Cha, how many games have we played, anyway? About 8, right? How interesting, of course. Chrono Life really is a masterpiece, isn't it? Hello, everyone, members of the Hanashan Guild. What a beautiful night. It's been a while. and the guild headquarters has gone completely to ruin. What about the items? Are they ready? They were pretty much ready. Pretty much? What do you mean, were? From this moment, everything is over. My promise to assist you, that's all over now, too. Is that right? HMPH. If I'd known this would happen, I would have asked why. I'm a little upset right now, so I can't help myself. Haha. The woman remembered what I had just said. And with that, the Hanishan Guild is disbanded. And from now on, don't you dare mess with Big Boss Aiching ever again. Big Boss Aiching. The Hanishan Guild has been completely annihilated. Experience points will now be calculated. Congratulations, you have reached the max level. I was totally stunned. Seeing my expression, Wulusi asked curiously. What's wrong, big bro? Oh, right, you can't see it. Hold on, let me make my status bar public. The next moment, my status window appeared before us. Level 999. Assignable ability points 4,960. Seeing this, both of our faces looked like we were constipated. What? Chrono Life. Number 1 in concurrent online users, number 1 in total registered users, number 1 in sales, and number 1 in user satisfaction. The number 1 virtual reality game in the world. But, you're saying you hit the max level? That's absolutely impossible. Players all over the world have been grinding day and night, but no one has ever reached that realm. Level 999. That's the master level. How can I explain this? Even if all the top-ranked players, myself included, hunted non-stop 24 hours a day, would probably still take decades, right? Meanwhile, I was still staring at my status window with that same constipated expression. Whoa, you're the first person in the world to reach the master level. That's incredible, big bro. I'm getting pumped just looking at it. I still can't believe it. Weren't you just level 7 a moment ago? Actually, it was the only possible outcome. On the first day I obtained the wooden stick, I slaughtered around 800,000 people. And not just players, but also countless monsters and dungeons that stood in my way. They were all completely obliterated. Then there was the experience from the strongest monster, Boss Wulusi. Plus the experience from about 3 million members of the Juwo World Guild Alliance. The experience points gained, and finally, the destruction of the entire planet. And that is how the world's first master level player was born. As you have achieved master level, you will now be transported to a transcendent space. Meanwhile, Aiching was still waiting on that same hillside, also wearing a constipated expression. Damn it, I'm so mad. Where the hell did that jerk run off to? He told me to just wait a moment, but now the sun's already gone down. As mad as I was, I had to remember I went to the Hanai Guild to stand up for her. I couldn't help but let out a sigh and flop down onto the grass. This master is generous. I'll give you 1 more hour. Meanwhile, in a mysterious space, I was standing on this floating island, completely bewildered. It seems like I'm always getting whisked away against my will lately. It was the same when I met that guy who called himself a god. And it happened when I met the boss of Spacetime Life, too. Child of man, welcome. Suddenly, a voice came from behind me. I didn't expect someone to come see me so soon. You are truly impressive. I am the one who guides the transcendent. The journey you've been on is worthy of recognition. As a novice, the effort you put in to reach the master level deserves everyone's respect. Hearing this, Uluz was a bit confused. Wait, has Big Bro not changed his class yet? I'd forgotten about that myself. Before this, I was a swordsman aspirant. Suddenly, a system notification sounded. Conditions met. Initiating hidden class change. The soul of the shield is fusing with your body. The soul of the staff is fusing with your body. The soul of the knuckle duster. The soul of the spear is fusing with your body. The souls of all weapons have now fused with your body. Master level novice privilege acquired. All stats will be reset. HP, assignable stat points will be tripled. Seeing this, Uluz couldn't help but let out a scream. The assignable stat points reached 14,985. He was completely stunned. It wasn't just the hidden class change. Even the stat points were tripled. Compared to the hidden class, Uluz seemed more shocked by the stat points, because normally, you only get 5 points per level up. But at this rate, it's like getting 15 stat points per level. Even if other max level players show up, my level is effectively 3 times higher than theirs. But I wasn't paying attention to that. Instead, I stared at the status window, deep in thought. The next second, an idea popped into my head, and a wicked smile spread across my face. I started frantically allocating my points, which left Uluz completely baffled. My point allocation was just way too random. For other players, even misplacing one stat point would get you labeled as a trash player. But here I was, dumping all my points into a single stat. This was driving Ulu's absolutely crazy. Into strength. Seeing me do this, Ulu's face darkened. He thought to himself, it's over. He's definitely going to be a trash player now. Meanwhile, at the office building of the Spacetime Life Game Company, a staff member was running frantically. This is bad, boss. What's going on? Please, come quickly. It's about that one player. A moment later, the man arrived at the Spacetime Life Control Center, and the staff brought my screen up. MP, has the wooden stick kid finally reached max level? The staff member stammered. The level isn't the main problem. Please, sir, look at what that player is doing. That's when the man noticed I had put all my attribute points into a single stat. Seeing this, the man became curious too. Which stat did he pick? The staff member pointed at the screen. This one. The man's eyes shot wide open. Then, he burst out laughing. This guy is really enjoying the game, isn't he? He's pouring everything he's got into it. Seeing the man's nonchalant attitude, the staff member quickly explained, Sir, this is no time for jokes. From now on, this character is just a useless build with no future. If he found out his character had become so useless, who knows if he'd go crazy and do something completely irrational. But the older man was very calm. You don't need to worry about this. Haven't I told you all before? The game company has no right to interfere with a player's choices, but the staff still felt they should prepare some countermeasures just in case. But the older man ignored them and walked straight to the door, thinking to himself, I can't believe he put all his attribute points into that one ability. He's even a master-level novice. A useless build? No future? In the history of virtual reality games, the most powerful villain has just been born. Transcendent One, please listen. We have reached the final stage of your guidance. I shall bestow upon you the power of choice. You may select one of the transcendent weapons I hold, and it will be yours to keep. Huh? Something this good? Since it's free, of course I have no reason to refuse. Ah, my indecisiveness is kicking in again. To be honest, every single one of them looks awesome. I couldn't help but get lost in thought. After a moment, I finally made my decision. Give them all to me. Child of man, I cannot grant your request. Do not be blinded by greed. I hope you will make the right choice. Hey, I cut him off right there. Then, with a completely innocent look on my face, I said, are you going to give them to me nicely? Or do you want me to beat you up first and then give them to me? You must be insane. You will incur the wrath of the God of Classes. Your relationship with the God of Classes is now hostile. Very well, so you've chosen to get beaten up before you hand them over, is that it? The man had put all of his attribute points into vitality, so even a full power strike from the god who governs hidden class changes couldn't inflict any damage on him. Instead, a single blow from his club took off half of the god's face. But even so, everyone still believed he would become a useless player. That's because all the equipment in Chronoscape Life has stat requirements to use. Therefore, every class needs to invest some points into strength. In other words, apart from this cloak and wooden club, I'll never be able to equip any other gear. But I think this is more than enough. Suddenly, a system notification chimed. I had actually met the requirements to learn a hidden skill. Healing Factor. Possesses a super regeneration ability, capable of completely recovering from any and all damage. And it provides complete immunity to abnormal statuses like poison, disease, and paralysis. Seeing this, I smugly pinched Eurus's cheek. Still think I'm a useless player, huh? Meanwhile, the God of Classes still hadn't recovered. I bet that half of his face was stinging like crazy right about now. You insignificant ant. B-boss. Hee. Chronoscape Life really is the best game ever. Watching this, Eurus was completely numb. What kind of damn horror game is this? The next second, the God of Classes attacked again. Ah. Hee. Well then, isn't it about time we finished this? Thanks to you, I've really gotten quite a few benefits out of this. Now, leave all the weapons behind, and you can get lost. The God of Classes was already breaking out in a cold sweat. But as a god, he had to put on one last act. Oh, child of humanity, your insatiable greed will one day plunge you into a realm of eternal damnation. When that time comes, you will. What will happen to me? This, upward swing. You have vanquished the God of Professions. The transcendent space is about to collapse. You will be forcibly teleported out of the transcendent space. When I was teleported back, what came with me were all the gear the God of Professions was holding. You have obtained all transcendent weapons. All transcendent weapons will be placed into your subspace and will be available for summoning at any time. Excellent. Damn you, Kuchazi. You are so dead. How dare you make me wait this long? I don't care what excuses you have. I'm not letting you off the hook. I'm Ba. You dare show your face? You got a death wish? You said you'd just be a minute. It's already nighttime. I thought you'd logged out ages ago. I only came here to check, just in case. Clearly, love wasn't having any of it. I quickly called out to her. Where are you off to so suddenly? I'm logging out. Being the clueless guy the first I just said, okay, bye then. Tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. I'll be off work by then. Make sure you log on time. Do you hear me? If you dare to be late again, you're really done for. Sigh. Women are impossible to understand. I should head back, too. It's already past midnight in the real world. Thank you for your business. Please come again, ha. I'm in a pretty good mood today. Chrono Life is just so much fun. Speaking of which, the transcendent weapons I got today should be worth a ton of gold. They are the first ever transcendent grade weapons, after all. I should be able to name my price, right? Oh, right. They're not soulbound, are they? If they're bound, I won't be able to sell them. I just passed by Grandma's guk bath. I'm pretty hungry, so I'll grab a bowl. But when I pulled out my wallet, my stomach was growling, but my wallet was sadly empty. Lately, I can barely even afford the fees for the PC bang. I might have to start thinking about getting a factory job. No, wait. I don't think I'll have to get that factory job after all. An idea suddenly popped into my head. Love's full gear set is worth 10 million gold, which is equivalent to 10 million Korean won. And her entire set is worth a small fortune. So, if I sell my own gaming gear, then I wouldn't need a factory job, would I? The thought had barely crossed my mind before I turned right back around. And sprinted back to the PC bang. To the world's #1 game, Chrono Life. All the top-ranked players used to say that there's a forbidden zone in Chrono Life. A place where life and death intertwine, the very boundary of death. The Tomb of the Doomed, a place that has never in history been conquered by any party. The most difficult hunting ground in the game. Though for some reason, it's been quiet lately. But it was once the lair of Chrono Life's strongest boss, Eurus. The Valley of Kings. Welcome to my home, boss. Eurus. Sorry, but I'm going to have to trouble you for a bit. Last time I came here, I was completely blinded by hatred. I didn't even think about looting. But today, I'm going to squeeze you all dry. I'm sorry, everyone. And so, from this day forward, the curtain falls on my life of being poor. Time to earn some dough. Valley of the Dead. The most difficult hunting ground in Chrono Life. Wiped out, Talbot of Despair, Laffys of the Abyss, Trixion of the Dawn. The 3 strongest generals of the Eurus Legion. Wiped out, with just 2 upward swings. All the monsters in the Valley of the Dead vanished, leaving behind a shower of high-priced items. It was over in an instant, man. Nice work, man. It's over? What are you talking about? This is just the beginning. Hearing this, Eurus felt a sense of dread. The next second, a rumbling sound echoed. Look over there, the monsters all reset. And then, the monsters I just annihilated have all respawned. But, special beings like the 2-headed dragon Eurus can't be reset. I finally found a way out of poverty. For the first time, let's just do a simple 100 runs. In the past, there was an interesting lecture held at H University abroad. Does everyone know Bill Z? He's the founder of a certain micro company. He's also a world-class billionaire. Even if, on his way to work, he found a $100 bill, he absolutely should not pick it up. Does anyone know why? Because for Bill Z, picking up money off the street would actually cause a financial loss. Because the time required to pick up the money is 2 to 3 seconds. But he earns at least $150 per second. In other words, from an economic standpoint, he would lose $200. However, including the time for the monsters to reset, the time it takes to grind 100 times is about 1 hour. The total value of the items scattered on the ground is about 15 billion gold, by the standard of earning $150 a second. Bill Z's 1 hour income is about 500 million Korean won. At this moment, me, who just a second ago was planning to get a factory job, my rate of return has surpassed the world's richest man. Thank you for your purchase, please come again. Finally free from poverty, I went on a revenge spending spree and even took a special stroll down the street. Next, I'm going to go spend a fortune. It's my first time driving, so I'm still a bit rusty. My $400 million supercar. Since it's broken, I'll just buy another one. Chrono Life headquarters. The man looked a bit anxious, as if something was bothering him. In front of him, an employee was giving him a report. Because my batch of items worth 15 billion gold flowed into the market, the game's resource consumption speed is 2 years ahead of schedule. The value of the in-game currency is also plummeting, which has led to a large number of complaints. The key is that the stock price has also fallen because of this. The staff themselves are even considering jumping ship. The man seemed to have noticed something. What's on your mind? Is there any way to stop this kid? At the moment, there's no effective way. After all, the bill to legalize real money trading in games was just passed not long ago. Just then, the phone rang. It was me calling. Hello there, boss. How have you been lately? I've just been spending money everywhere. I plan on getting you a gift, too. Is there anything you want? That was like walking right into the line of fire. The old guy cursed out my entire family tree. He just hung up the phone. I was completely dumbfounded. Little did I know how much of a loss that man suffered because of me. I was still on cloud 9, just thinking about what to spend my money on next. Clothes, luxury watches, phones, and so on. I bought everything I could think of. But it felt like it was still missing something. It lacked a certain highlight moment. The next moment, I shot up. An idea instantly came to me. I can't believe I forgot the most important thing. A luxury residence downtown. Ha 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 ha. Welcome to my home. The highest class, ultra-luxurious residence. This is the damn highlight moment. Amidst my excitement, I remembered there was one more thing to do. A moment later, I pressed the doorbell of the apartment next door. Hello, I'm the new tenant who moved in next door today. I came to bring you some rice cakes. Hearing this, the person on the other side hesitated for a moment. The next moment, the door opened. Oh, hello, please take care of me from now on. When I saw the person, I was stunned. No, that wasn't the highlight moment just now. This moment is today's true highlight moment. All the top-ranking players of Chrono Life have said that there is a forbidden place within the game. The Tomb of the Doomed, the Valley of the Dead. At this moment, a mysterious and powerful humanoid creature appeared. Abominable humans, how dare you run rampant here? You watchdogs don't even recognize your own master. At this moment, it absorbed 3 of Wulu's great generals. After being absorbed, they cannot be reset. You have absorbed the opponent's level. You have absorbed the opponent's stats. The data of the 3 great generals of the Ulu's Legion has been completely deleted. So, it turns out, this is Ulu's other lost head. And it is going to destroy humanity.